Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it's actually this morning. Surprise! Another one of those. It is Thursday morning at 7:33 a.m. and I am like wide awake. I went to bed last night. I don't even remember what time I went to bed last night. I think like at 10 o'clock. I like fell asleep and woke up, Like Alex was laying in bed and he was playing his game, his township game. And we were talking for a little bit and then I fell asleep like while we were talking. And I woke up and I turned over. Boo Radley was like laying right there. He was so sweet. And I was like, could you please turn the light off? He turned the light off. And then I was out for the night. But I woke up several times throughout the night. I like woke up at like 1:30 and I was like, I feel like I should go vlog, but I just want to sleep. So I just kept on sleeping. And then I woke up at like 3 something again. And then 6 something. And then I was like, I'm just gonna get up in the morning when I get up. But isn't it a beautiful morning? I took the dogs out. I fed the birds and the squirrels on the squirrel table. And I've got a bunch of things I need to do today. So a bunch of errands I'm gonna run. And yeah, so I have a good day ahead of me. Already made my list last night of all the things that I want to do today. So that's about my life. I'm listening to, I finished last night, that was what I did when I was driving around yesterday. I finished the book Magical Midlife Dating, which is the sequel to Magical Midlife Madness by K.F. Breen. And the 3rd book comes out sometime next spring. So I'm caught up on that series. It was good. It was like as good as the first one. But I'm really into this Misfortune series that is by Jana De Leon. I'm on the 2nd one right now, which is called Bayou Beauty. And I just started it. I'm like a half an hour into it. It's really funny though. I was just listening to this banter that was going back and forth between it's okay, so the 2nd one is that I can't like talk about it without ruining it for anybody, but I don't know who's gonna really read these books, you know. But this woman that is like a CIA agent, she now has to act like a pageant contestant to like help with this beauty pageant that's gonna run. And so she's supposed to work on this pageant with this other woman who actually is a beauty pageant. And the woman, she says something like, this Fortune tries to shake her hand and she goes, real ladies don't shake hands. And she goes, oh, I didn't know you were a lady. And then she says something about like, she's making fun of her and her fake, the other one's making fun of her fake hair because she has extensions in because she's got real short hair, you know, because she's like usually in the Middle East. And so she says something about her fake extensions, and so Fortune looks at her, like her breasts, and says something about, well, that's not the only thing that's fake. And she says, I am an actress. And she's like, I'm gonna have to look you up on the internet movie database. And she says, I do mostly, I don't know why this cracked me up so much, but she said, I do mostly industrial movies, and she said, or industrial work. And she said, oh, you clean up movie sets? And she goes, you pedestrian bitch. I don't know why it cracked me up so much. These books are so like, they're just so sweet, but so silly. Like, they're just kind of funny. I mean, it's like her and these 2 old ladies, and they're just kind of like always running around, getting themselves into trouble. I don't know why I think it's so funny, but I'm like absolutely in love with this series. So whoever recommended it to me, thank you, because it's making me so incredibly happy. Oh, man. And, that's that. We're gearing up on getting ready to go to Florida, which is like kind of like trying to pull it all together at the last minute, you know? And so I'm trying to pre-film videos before I go. I actually have all of my Peterisms videos pre-filmed, and I'm going to, and I've got like several of my Peter review stuff videos pre-filmed, and I'm going to try to do some more after I get off of here today from doing the vlog. I actually got a comment. I was reading when I was taking the dogs out this morning. It's so nice out. It's like, it really reminded me this morning of kind of like the last fall days when I was a little kid growing up and walking to school. The weather outside is like, it's 59 degrees, and it's that feeling in the morning. Well, first of all, last night and this morning, like the wind, well, last night even more so than this morning, but the wind is like unbelievable. Like, just kind of like out of control, like blowing everywhere. Last night it was so blustery outside, and it was so pretty, and the leaves were just like I was standing out in the front yard before I went to bed. I took the dogs out, and the leaves were just like blowing really like hard across the yard. And but it's not cold. It's not like super cold yet. And I have a feeling when we get back it will be. But this morning reminded me of like like when I was a little kid in like elementary school and like walking to school. It reminded me of those like kind of last fall days when you would walk to school, and in the morning it would be cool, like where you needed a jacket, but in the evening, like when the afternoon, and you would come home from school, it would be like hot, where you would have to take off your jacket and your sweater, you know? I don't know why it was reminding me of that. Where you would wear like a nice little fall outfit to school. And then, I even in elementary school cared about what my outfits were. I did. I had this shirt back in the day. I'll have to find the picture of this because I wore it for a school picture shirt. I had this like shirt back in the day. It was like kind of flannelish, I think. I don't remember kind of really what the material was, but it was like yellow and red and blue, and it was like this plaid shirt. It was kind of like a Western kind of deal, but not Western, if that makes sense. Like kind of like those Western prints that I like, but it wasn't Western. And my mom and I, for some reason, we called it my French toast shirt. I think maybe like the brand was French Toast or something like that. But anyway, it was like my favorite shirt. I don't know, it just made me think of that. But I can remember going to school, and I loved to wear corduroy pants to school. You know what's so funny is, for years and years and years, like I would never wear jeans to school. Which is so funny because now all I ever do is wear jeans or jeans. I have jean shorts on right now. I mean, I have a couple pairs of khaki shorts, but I very rarely wear them. I never, when I was growing up, until I got to like, probably like 8th or 9th grade, I didn't wear jeans to school, like ever. But I also remember when I was growing up, like, jeans were kind of frowned upon, and like shorts, you could only wear shorts to school. And I didn't go to private schools, I went to public schools. Shorts you could only wear to school like if they had like short day, you know what I mean? Like now, I mean, like kids wear like basketball shorts to school and stuff like that, but like when I was growing up, we couldn't do that. Like there was kind of like a dress code that you had to adhere to at school. It's gonna be a good day today. It looks like it might rain out, actually. It's like very cloudy outside. Unless I want to take a different fanny pack with me, I'm gonna have to go through and clean out this fanny pack. I have lost a lip gloss somewhere in this car. I need to look between my seats. So I was using it the other day, and then last night when I was looking for it to film my drama video, I couldn't find it. What is this? Oh, I have a pack of blackjack coming here. It looks like it's bright outside, you guys. It's so funny how on video it shows up like it's light outside. I don't know if you can see it, if it'll show it over here. No, it shows it as light outside. It's literally still really dark outside. Isn't that so weird how it does that on camera? lip gloss, anything. Okay, here's the lip balm, but now I kind of want some lip gloss. I know I have that horrible Patrick Ta lip. What is that gonna be, I wonder? Looks like a grocery store or something. Doesn't say what it's gonna be. There used to be a church. They actually tore it down. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? They would tear down a church. Oh my Lord. Do you ever just like dig in your bag or your purse like forever looking for something? Here it is. Here's my lip gloss. Oh, I'm gonna use that lip gloss instead. Well, I should probably try to use that Patrick Ta lip gloss because I like it. I don't like it as well as the other one. I'm gonna get a coffee here in a second. When I get done vlogging, I have like 3 coffees I'm gonna try at Starbucks, and these might be my reviews today. Well, there's one, it's like the flat white or whatever. I don't think I've ever tried the flat white or the flat whatever it's called. And then someone told me I should try a double shot on ice. And then I've never tried the white chocolate mocha. Those are like 3 coffees I've never tried. So I'm gonna try. One is my video today. But people don't really like when I try the stuff that's just off the menu. I know that channel is just pretty much becoming like an all Starbucks review channel, but I really like trying the Starbucks drinks out. It's really fun for me. Oh, I also have like a McDonald's review that I want to do today because apparently they have like new breakfast pastries or something. So I'm gonna get those and try that today. And then there was another thing I wanted to review. I can't remember what it was. I reviewed the spicy ghost donut from Dunkin' Donuts. That was one of my pre-filmed videos that I did, and I also reviewed the Snickerdoodle Blizzard from Dairy Queen. I did that as another pre-filmed video. I'm still gonna vlog while we're gone, but they won't be long vlogs. They'll probably be like 20 to 30 minutes every night. But if you've watched my vlogs when I go out of town, usually they're just like me sitting, you know, at the end of the day, just kind of like recapping my day. So let me see what I did yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I got up yesterday. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Somebody on my Peterisms channel, they commented, and I thought this was such an interesting comment because, like, yesterday I did a video and it was about the 3 C's, which we typically refer to as the 3 C's of Al-Anon, and those are like in regarding like the disease of addiction with the other person. Like, I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. Those are the 3 C's of like Al-Anon. But the meditation that I was reading was referring it to like somebody's own addiction. Like I would talk about it with my own addiction. Like, I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. And I thought that was rather interesting. Like, I've never heard addicts or alcoholics refer to the 3 C's themselves. Like, that's an Al-Anon thing, I had always thought. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But anyway, so I was talking about recovery in the meditation, and I got a comment, and somebody said, would you be willing to do a video or 2 over here a week about recovery stuff, because it's like really, really helpful and whatever. And you know what's interesting is I used to do so many videos over there about recovery stuff, and I've really gotten away from it. And I was thinking about this morning when I read that comment. You know, I've really gotten away from doing that on that channel because, well, first of all, somebody thanked me. They were like, thank you for continuing to post on this channel. Like, you've mentioned that you don't get a lot of views. Like, that's not why I make videos over there. Like, I mean, obviously it's not about the views or anything like that on that channel. I just love making videos on that channel. I have such a good time reading the meditations, and you know, and in all honesty, selfishly, it's really helpful for me too to sit there and read them and then like talk about them out loud. Like, I get a lot out of that. And I hated riding the school bus when I was a kid. I absolutely hated it. The school bus was like one of the worst places for me. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Any chance I could get to get my mom to take me to school, I would do it. I hated taking the school bus. But I was thinking about like why I had gotten away from like reading more recovery-based meditations or talking about recovery-based like issues on that channel. And you know what was so funny is I think like in this weird world, or this weird way, I think of the world as like from a recovery point of view, that like I know that like the way that I maneuver the world is as a person in recovery, not coming into contact. And I'm not talking about my world, I'm talking about the world, that I don't come in contact with tons of people that are in sobriety on a daily basis. I mean, I do in my own world because of my friends and my support network and going to meetings and things like that. But what I mean is like going out into the regular world, like people don't really, like it's still surprising to me, but like people are still like, well, you're sober, well, what does that mean? And you know, they ask a lot of questions, and they'll say, oh, I have a friend of mine that probably needs to be sober, or you know, they'll say like my sister, you know, she tried those meetings or something like that. But like society at large, I would say, still is very confused about sobriety and recovery and all of those, even with all the TV shows and everything like that. So I think like my mindset is I kind of steer away from doing those kind of videos because I'm like, I feel like they're so specific that like, let's say if I get typically 600 to 800 views a video over there, that maybe only 30 out of the 800 people are in sobriety, which maybe that's not the case. Maybe people over there are wanting more recovery-based information. And I was like, you know, I really like that somebody brought that up. Like, I'm going to start doing, I mean, it is a huge part of my life, you know, like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that like watches a lot of my like YouTube stuff, and we were talking about like recovery, and she said something like, people have really no idea like how much you really like recovery is a part of your life. Like if you just watched your videos, like you talk about it, you talk about like your home group, and you talk about like Tanya, and you talk about your sponsor, but like people really don't have any idea like really how much of your life it is. Like it really is a huge part of my life. Like, and I'm not just talking about like me talking about it or me being sober. I'm talking about like in my day-to-day life, like things that I do, and meetings that I go to, and having, you know, like I leave a lot of that out. And she was like, you know, you really wouldn't know that, but like she's like, you really like kept that part of your life, other than just sharing bits and pieces of it, you've really kept that part off. Well, and that was very deliberate, was that is a piece of my life that's important for me to keep protected and private, you know. I have very close friends of mine, very, very close friends of mine that I have never mentioned, that I might be like, oh, I got to cut this part out because I was referring to somebody or whatever. But like that happens a couple times. But I have very, very close friends of mine that have been friends of mine 15, 20 years that I never have mentioned on any of my channels, because they don't want to be they have no desire to be on any part of YouTube, and their life is anonymous, and you know, they don't want any part of that. And I really respect that, and they're interested in it. You know, they'll ask, they'll be like, how's YouTube going? And I'm like, good. And they'll be like, so what's going on with Jeffree Star? And I'm like, not a whole lot, you know. Or they'll be like, you know, like, have you reviewed anything fun lately? I love your review videos. Like, you know, they watch bits and pieces of it or try to keep up, but they're like, they're my friends that like, our life is just completely different than all of this. And I keep that private for them, out of protection for them, obviously, you know, and out of protection for my own recovery. So, I mean, I'll talk about recovery commitments that I have and, you know, stuff, but, like, I have one today, but I don't really ever, like, I call it a recovery commitment. Like, I don't know anybody in recovery that calls it a recovery commitment. That's kind of like, I came up with that kind of, like, word for the YouTube. Like, you know, I would say what it was, if, you know, but anyway, so I don't know why I'm not sharing more about that. Except for that I just think that, like, in my mind's eye, I'm like, well, maybe there's just not that many people that are watching my videos that are sober. So, like, I try to make it more mainstream for anybody that can watch it, that could apply it to their life. And I always kind of, like, apologize for it, too. Like, when I'm making those videos that are very, like, recovery, like, focused, like, if I read a meditation and it's, like, directly about a step, like, in Melody Beatty's book, Language of Letting Go, which is her sister book to Codependent No More, like, I'll literally open it, it'll be like October 6th, like the 8th step or the 7th step, right? And so, I mean, then you have to apply something like making a list of amends to, which is the 8th step, you know, to, like, everybody else. And so I read this meditation, but then I'm, like, at the same time trying to apply the meditation to anybody so that anybody can, you know, gain from it, not just people in recovery. Maybe I need to stop doing that. Maybe I just need to speak as a person in recovery on those videos, and, you know, people will get what they get from it, I guess. I don't know. But I thought that was an interesting observation. So yesterday, what did I do? What was yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. Got up and... oh, I slept in late yesterday. Well, I stayed up late listening to my audiobook. I stayed up way late listening to my audiobook on Tuesday night. And yesterday I woke up and it was like, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh God, it's late. And then I, like, turned over to talk to Boo Radley, and the next thing I knew, I, like, looked at the clock and it was like an hour later. And I was like, how did I just fall asleep? And for another hour, it was like an hour and a half later. And so I got up and I was texting Alex and I was like, I've got to get started and get out of this house. So I left and I went and got my coffee and I did a review at Starbucks, and that's also, like, one of the reasons why I do a lot of Starbucks reviews is it's kind of easy for me, you know, with, I like to post on all, you know, as many channels as I possibly can. And so, like, if I'm going to Starbucks anyway to get a cup of coffee, it's just kind of easy for me to run through there and then do a review as well. But I went and I got my coffee, and then what did I do after that? Oh, then I did the extra, like, the pre-filmed reviews. I went to Fisher's and I started filming this Dunkin' Donuts review, but they didn't have the ghost donut or the spider donut, so I had to go to another place to do that, which was like a half an hour away. But then I filmed the Dairy Queen one, and then I filmed a Starbucks one, and then I went to the other Dunkin' Donuts, and they did have the donuts, so I finished a review over there. I really had fun doing those review videos last night, because they were, like, different kinds of stuff. I like to review different kinds of stuff. I've been meaning to go to Aldi, because they have, like, pizzas that are shaped like pumpkins and all kinds of stuff to get stuff to review for Halloween. But, like, I don't want to get it and then have it just, like, sitting there in the house while we're gone, you know what I mean? So I think about doing it when I come back. I think the video when I come back that I'm going to do that Monday will probably be, I don't know what day I'll do it. That Monday, or when's Halloween? That Saturday? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. One of those days. I'm going to probably do, like, an Aldi haul. I've never been to Aldi, like, ever in my life. So I want to go to Aldi and do, like, an Aldi haul and, like, walk around. And then the rest of the week, I'm going to do, like, reviews of stuff I bought. Like, maybe, like, pumpkin shaped pizza or something like that. She shows all that stuff on the totallythebomb.com. So, yeah. And then what else? Did I do yesterday? Oh, then I came home and I just filmed some videos. And then Alex went over to his brother's house last night for dinner. And he stopped over there. And I was getting stuff done around the house. I was finishing pre-filming my Peterisms videos. And I did some cameos. And fed the dogs. And just kind of hung out around the house. Listened to my audiobook. And then Alex came home, and then we hung out for a while, and just kind of relaxed, and it was nice. And that was our evening. He's, like, obsessed with that game. He plays that game, like, all the time. I'm like, aren't you bored of that game? He was like, no, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. That township game. I always, like, when I get up in the morning like this, and I've gone to bed early the night before, I always feel good. Like, I always feel, like, wide awake, and I feel like, God, I'm so happy that I went to bed early. But the truth is like, so I have this recovery thing today at, like, 1 o'clock, and I'll probably get done with it around 3. And then I'll still, unless I make videos this morning before I go, I'll still want to make videos, you know, for my channels, and so I'll come home and I'll make videos. And I mean, by like 4:30 or 5, I'm going to be exhausted. Like, that's what happens when I get up so early. You guys are probably like, yeah, welcome to our world. I know, like, I don't know how I did it, you know, like back in the day when I worked at 7:30 and I would get done at 3, I would come home every day and take a nap. Like, I think that's, you know, like a big part of how my napping was. Back then it's raining. It's just kind of sprinkling outside though. But that was like how a big part of like my napping thing happened, was that I would come home every day and take a nap from like 4 to 6 or something. That was when I was with my ex, and then, you know, like we would either go out to dinner, or we didn't cook at home either unless we were on a diet. We did Weight Watchers forever. So we would do like the Weight Watcher stuff, but mostly we ate like those Smart Ones meals or the lean cuisines, because they had the points on the side. And then we would just like make a bunch of green beans, because green beans were 0 points. That was when we were on Weight Watchers. We did every diet in the world together. We even did the cabbage soup diet, which was horrible. The cabbage soup diet is basically, you make this huge pot of cabbage soup, and you can have as much of it as you want throughout the day, but that's all you can eat is this cabbage soup. It's basically just, you know, detoxes your system. And like, it's not bad. It's like cabbage soup, literally, like it tastes like cabbage soup with tons of pepper in it. But like, it sounds like, ooh, you can eat as much cabbage soup as you want, but literally after about 3 hours of it, you don't want any more cabbage soup. It's really not good. We literally did every diet together though. But when we weren't dieting, we would go out to eat, or we got fast food a lot. So we would go somewhere and get like Arby's or, you know, McDonald's, and we would bring it home, and we would sit there and we would watch it. Do you guys want to hear a really gross story? So we watched that documentary, Super Size Me. Have you guys seen it? Okay, it is so bad. So Super Size Me is about, I think they just came out with Super Size Me 2 or something like that. You want to talk about having an eating addiction, let me just tell you right now, okay? We watched Super Size Me, and it's about like how gross like McDonald's is, and how like their making of their food is so bad, and all these lawsuits, and it's how bad McDonald's is for you. We literally got halfway through the movie and documentary, and my ex looked at me and he goes, "Are you hungry for McDonald's?" And I go, "I am so hungry for McDonald's." We went to McDonald's and got all of this horrible food while we were watching Super Size Me. Is that not so bad? There used to be this place that we would go. We literally went there every Sunday. You know I love a good buffet, right? But I like a kind of like a high-end buffet. And like I like buffets that like have like good food on them, not like you know, bottom of the barrel buffets. But I'll really, it stopped. But I'll really kind of eat. Is it out of focus? I can't even tell. I feel like my eye is out of focus. But I'll really kind of eat from any kind of buffet, you know. The only buffet I don't really like is Ryan's buffet. But what did we go to Ryan's buffet one time? They have a breakfast buffet, I feel like, and it was pretty good. Or was that what's the one buffet that has a breakfast buffet that we used to go to? It was so good. We literally drove to Columbus, Indiana one morning to meet our friends from Seymour, just to go to this breakfast buffet. That is a true story. I drove all the way down to Columbus. We were half asleep to go down there for this breakfast buffet because we wanted to meet them so bad. I can't remember what that buffet was called though. It must not have been Ryan's because Seymour has a Ryan's. It's like some major buffet chain though. Anyway, we used to go every Sunday because they had it was like, I don't know if it was like not as expensive that day, or I don't know why we went on Sundays, but we went to Forbidden City Buffet, and it was a really nice like Chinese buffet. And oh my God, it was like huge, and the booths were really nice, and we would sit there and eat, and then we would go home and take naps. That was so much fun. It's closed down for a long time now. It's been closed forever. I think where it used to be, there's now like a Chick-fil-A there or something like that. It's right by my house. But I used to love Forbidden City Buffet, which is so funny because when I go through those, like when I wasn't a vegetarian, and I would go to like the Chinese buffet, I always ate the same things. I got crab meat rangoon, hot and sour soup. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And then I would get fried rice, lo mein, and then like that General Tso's chicken. Like that's all I would get. And those like sweet muffin things that have like sugar and cinnamon on them, you know what I'm talking about? And almond cookies. My ex got me started on white rice, and then you take the stuff that you put over the pot stickers and you put it over the white rice, and it's really good, and it really, really is that good. I could eat that because it's vegetarian, but Alex has been on this Thai kick lately. He took Thai over to his brother's house last night. He was like, do you want any? I was like, no, we just had Thai 2 nights ago. I'm not that hungry for fried rice. Alex could literally eat fried rice and pizza 5 times a week. While I'm really excited to kind of look at some property in Florida, and this is just the first leg of us doing this, can I just tell you, I am also excited to just kind of like lay by a pool and read, especially since it's like a private pool, because we have our own pool at this house, and to do night swims, and we have a hammock. I've never, I know this is going to sound so corny, but like I have never taken, oh my Lord, what was that? Scared that.
Canceled.
Thank you. You are canceled. I have never taken a nap in a hammock. Like that's probably one of my bucket list things, and I'm going to do it on this trip because this house that we're renting has a hammock. Isn't that so weird that I've never taken a nap in a hammock? Our neighbors have a hammock, like Laura, she and her roommate have a hammock. And I said to them at the pool one day, I was like, they have it like out in the yard, and it's one of those things that has 2 stands on it on either end. It's like a really comfy looking hammock. And I said, I have to tell you something. I said, I've never been in a hammock. They're like, you've never been in a hammock? I mean, I think I've like been in a hammock like once or twice, but I've never like just messing around when I was a kid. But I've never taken like a nap in a hammock. Never. And I've always wanted to like have a hammock or take a nap in a hammock. Is that not so silly? And I told them one day, I was like, felt like this little kid. I was like, I've never taken like a nap in a hammock before or anything. They're like, get a book and come over and just take a nap in our hammock. You can do it anytime you want. And all summer I meant to. And then it was this huge controversy in our neighborhood. They have like this huge yard next to their house. And it's kind of like not just their yard. It's like the neighborhood property where like people walk their dogs and stuff. But it really is their yard. Like, I mean, if you drove up to the house, you would be like, yeah, that's their yard. You wouldn't be like, oh, it's neighborhood property. But people are so weird about that stuff. So anyway, they had the hammock sitting out there. Well, people were talking about how it was an eyesore. And I'm like, an eyesore? It is so weird how the morning looks on camera. Like, it is dark, gray, and raining right now. And on camera, it looks like it's bright outside. So weird. I wonder if I could turn on the light, if it would be different. No. Anyway. So they got like a lot of like complaints about it. And like people would come over. It was kind of like, to be honest with you, I just kind of was like a little turned off by how people acted towards them about this hammock. They, like I was coming down the street one day and somebody had taken it and just turned it over. And so I said to Laura, I said, what happened to your hammock? Like, it's on its side. And she goes, I came home and somebody had pushed it over. It's heavy. It's a heavy hammock. And she was like, I don't understand what people's issue is with it. And I said, well, just put it behind the condo. Nobody cares. And she was like, I know, but like, because our condo, like our yard in the back, like slants, and so it would be like sitting on. She's like, but why can't I have it out there? It makes no sense. Why people have an issue with it? I said, I don't know. And she goes, well, my grandma said that people, because her grandma, you know, is the one in the neighborhood. Now, see, it's dark in here. I wonder what that's about. Her grandma is the one in the neighborhood that kind of like runs everything, you know. She's like the busybody of the neighborhood. And she goes, well, I talked to grandma, and grandma told me that people said that it's like an eyesore. It's literally like a really nice brand new hammock that has like the two things on the end that it stands on, you know, like it's a really beautiful hammock. And I don't understand why anybody would think it was an eyesore. And I said, oh, don't even worry about it. I think people, like, they're younger. She and her roommate are younger. And so I think, like, people want to complain about stuff. Like, they have this whole swimming deal thing at our pool where, like, between, I think it was like 6 and 10 in the morning, like, only those over 65 could swim in the pool. And then from like 8 to 11 at night, only those over 65 could swim in the pool. And it was really aimed for like kids, because there was like, people would bring their grandkids in and things like that, you know? Do you hear, it is like really raining hard. But, so anyway, she talked to her grandma about it, and then like the next week it was changed, because remember, it was like such a big deal, because I was like, I'm going to the pool anyway, you know what I mean? Which they didn't care. But then it got changed, and then it was like adult swim. Well, she and her roommate were in the pool one night. They were not loud. It wasn't like, but they were like splashing around and stuff. And it was like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. And I guess a bunch of people complained and were like, it's supposed to be like peaceful, adult, quiet swim. I'm like, she's like 28. Like, she's not, I thought she was like, okay, so when she moved in, she was like 24. So she's like 27 or 28 now. It's not like she's like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's her and her roommate. They both like work and like go to bed. Well, they stay up sometimes late, but they're always like playing ping pong in the garage. She has a ping pong table in the garage, or, I mean, it's just like the two watching movies, or they'll sit outside and watch movies on like a laptop or something. Like, they're real nice, you know, and her roommate's super nice. It's just like, I don't understand why people have an issue with it. You think if anybody would have an issue with them, it would be like us, because we're closest to them, and we have no issue with them at all, you know? People just want to complain for any reason to complain. Do you guys live in like a homeowners association like we do? People like literally find any reason to complain. They really, really do. It's kind of honestly really upsetting. These one neighbors that were in the pool, they go to the pool like every day that I would go to the pool. And not like, when I say neighbors, I just mean people that live in the neighborhood. They're so funny. They have like a golf cart. They have like I don't want to say too many details about them in case somebody knows them, but anyway, they're kind of heavy drinkers. They're older too, and they're like real professional people, but they're retired. And I just think they're real into that Jimmy Buffett lifestyle, if you know what I mean. Like, I think they think it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, and they're always like, maybe like sitting on the back patio smoking a joint kind of deal, you know what I mean? But they're real funny. They like crack me up, and they're super, super nice. And like whenever I'm like in the pool by myself, because I'll just get a coffee and go to the pool, you know, like he'll walk up there and he'll like be walking the dog, and he'll be like, what's it like? And I'm like, it's nice today in the pool. And he'll be like, okay, we're gonna be up there in 5. And then they come and they bring like a cooler, and they always bring me like a LaCroix or something like that. Like one day I said something about, oh, the woman was going back to the house to get more libations, and she said, that means alcohol, and she said something about, does anybody want anything? And I said, if you got any, and I wasn't even like, this was before I even knew them, before I started talking to them, and I said, if you have any candy, I'll take some. And she brought me back a little baggie of candy. I was up there with Alex and Sarah. It was so nice, like little Snicker things, and I said, you did not have to do that. And then maybe it was that day that I started talking to them, and that was how it all started. Look at this right here. It's so pretty, you guys. Look at these trees. Not many days left of these fall trees. Anyway, I think that might have been the day that I talked to them for the first time. I mean, I had said hi to them and stuff in the pool. Like, that would have been in June. And because I can remember it was she and her friend lives in the neighborhood too, and her husband, and it was the 3 of them. And I was talking to the 2 women on the stairs, like they were sitting on the stairs and I was like in the pool, and we got gossiping about people in the neighborhood. Imagine that, me being part of the gossip crew. I know, but anyway, we did, and it was real fun. And they were comparing this one woman that lives in our neighborhood to, have you guys seen the commercial about the woman that she's like goes around and she like takes their mailbox and she like cuts it down because she's like, nope, it doesn't meet requirements or whatever. They were comparing this one woman in our neighborhood to her and saying that she was just like that, and she totally is. Do you guys know the commercial I'm talking about? It's like a Geico ad or something like that. But they called her, whatever the woman's name is, like I think her name is Cynthia in the commercial. They were calling this woman in our neighborhood Cynthia. So, but anyway. But our neighborhood is kind of divided. It's either like us rebel rousers, or it's kind of like the people like that are complaining about the rebel rousers, you know. And I have to say, like, I'm kind of on the fence, honestly. Like, I used to be a rebel rouser, but I'm not so much anymore. Now I'm really just like, I just am like friendly to everybody. Hi, how are you? Like, Alex laughs, but like now Alex is the same way too. He'll be like, did you see so and so down the street? Did they get a new car? And I'm like, we have become that couple that knows all the neighbors, and it's totally hilarious. There used to be a little donut shop right here. I was thinking I should stop at this little donut shop here. I've always wanted to stop there. And you know what is so sad is that it's closed down because I think they went out of business because of COVID. They couldn't stay in business anymore. But apparently Paradise Shaved Ice and Ice Cream Shop was able to. Imagine that. Do you know what it looks like out today? It looks like the movie Halloween, which I started watching yesterday because I want to watch all the Halloweens before Halloween this year. So I was watching Halloween 1 last night. I don't know what part I got to. Not very far. And then today, well, I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to watch at least, hopefully, Halloween 2 today. And then tomorrow, Halloween 3, which I honestly have not seen since I was like growing up. Melissa loves it. She's like, oh, it's one of my favorites of all of them, which is so funny because she's like so into like the franchise of Halloween, you know, in the movies and stuff like that, but she really likes the 3rd one. So I'm gonna watch it and see what I think. It's kind of getting a little chilly in here. It just dropped to 50 degrees, you guys. Did I not say it was 59 degrees outside? And now it's 50. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I know some of you said, bless you, Peter. Bless you too, good Judies. Where am I at on time? Ugh. Bless you too, good Judies. All my good Judies in the neighborhood. So I'm gonna watch Halloween. I don't know what other movies, scary movies. I need to start laying out some stuff to take with me to see what's gonna fit. Of the world as you know it, as we know it, I don't know why I'm thinking about like school when I was growing up. This reminds me of, look at the woods again. I just love when you like the roads like this when they're so pretty. Look at this little house up there, and that's so cute. Do you remember days like this when you would be in school? Mama said there'd be days like this. But when there were days like this and you would go to school and you would just sit there and look out the window and it was like pouring down rain and you couldn't like focus and you were completely just like so disconnected from the world. That was like most of my life growing up. Anyway, but I would just like stare out the window and be like, God, I wish I was at home taking a nap right now. And it would be like pouring down rain and you'd be thinking about how like you didn't want to leave when school was over because you'd get soaking wet and stuff. It's so weird to think that I have not been 30 years. I graduated from high school 30 years ago. You know, it's weird to think like these things that I define myself by, not like as a high school graduate, but defining myself by like being gay, like, you know, being out and being with my husband. Like, I've been out for 30 years, but I can remember a time before I was out, you know? Like, I can remember, like, conversations that, like, I would have with people, and I would steer around that conversation, or, you know, like, the thing is, I don't really remember people other than my bullies who were, like, picking on me, so I would never really respond to them. I don't really remember anybody ever, like, asking me, like, are you gay? Like, I don't remember, my friends didn't ask me that. And then defining myself as a person in sobriety, I mean, like, it was like a sober person, recovering person. Like, I didn't refer to myself to that, obviously, until after I was sober. And then it was even kind of like a year after that. So it's like, my whole life has not been defined by those things, but a major part of my life has been defined by those things, you know? And I look back on that and I think, God, it's so crazy that it hasn't even been my whole life. Or saying that I'm married, you know? That's been 9 years of my life. It is crazy to me to think, though, that, like, Alex and I have been together for 12 plus years now, and that it's a long time to be with somebody. My battery has been sitting on like a half battery for I don't even know how long now. And I'm like, when it starts flashing, I'm gonna have to get off here. But I hope it doesn't start flashing. But I'm sure it will in a second. How long have I been looking for anyway? I don't even know. So after I get home tonight, well, Alex, he has to work late tonight. So after I get home from my like recovery thing today, I'm gonna light a bunch of candles and candle waxes and make the house smell like fall. And then I am going to make some videos, I guess. That's what. And unless I've made them already, if I make them this morning. And then I'm going to, I don't know what else. Relax, listen to my audiobook. I'm so into my audiobook right now. I think after this one, though, I'm going to listen to, I might skip out of the cozy genre for a second. I might read like a John Grisham book while I'm gone or something. Something a little bit longer. These books are good, but they're short. They're usually between like 7 and 9 hours. They're not long at all. And they go really, really fast, too. Magical Midlife Dating, I listened to in 2 days. And it was like 9 hours. Magical Midlife Dating. I'm reading my 60th book right now for the year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit 100. It was funny, I actually was looking through people's Goodreads things, and some people had read 200 and 300 books, and I was going through their things, and it would be all these seriously long adult books, and then they would have 6 children's books in a row. And I was like, are you just trying to hit a number? Because I think that way, you know? But I was like, are you just trying to hit a number or something? I'm gonna do my best to hit 100 on just reading what I would typically read. But I'm telling you right now, if I get to the week before and I haven't read 100 books, I'm going into the library and I'm pulling out all 10 Christmas children's books, and I'm just gonna read them like that. I am. I'm not, and I'm not gonna be ashamed of it either, even though I'm laughing about it right now out of shame. But I'm not. I'm just gonna be listen, I did it, you know? But then it's so stupid because it's well, you did it, but you didn't really do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe I won't. But I really want to hit 100 books this year. I'm trying so hard. And, I mean, I could try a little harder. I think already, though, this is my 6th book for October. I've read quite a few books in October. I said to Alex last night, I said something about, I'm on my 60th book for the year. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And he goes, that's 2 books a week. And I said, he was like, and I said, I guess it kind of is. And he goes, yeah. He was like, that's a lot. I was like, I hadn't really thought of it that much. I mean, I think to the average person that doesn't read, it is a lot, you know? But I don't know. I've seen so many booktubers lately start moving towards audio, reading audiobooks, which I think is interesting. So many more booktubers are listening to a lot of Audible. Which I think is what I'm going to do right now, is listen to my audiobook. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to listen to my audiobook until I get to McDonald's, where I'm going to do a review. So I'm going to get off here now, and I hope you guys are going to have as good a day as I am having already. And if you like this video vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you're still subscribed if you've already subscribed. And if you haven't, please think about subscribing and being part of the OG Wolf Pack. Why not? It's fun. It's just us trying to get through life, being kind, caring, and compassionate to one another. And I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. Do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and every single night and tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation you are valuable or you are worthy of being loved, and really believe that inside, because it's important. And you know, also tell yourself every single day, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way and positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. I can start my day over just like that. So if you need to start your day over, do it. Don't feel bad about it. Maybe you need to start your day over 10 times today. That's okay. But you're exchanging a day of your life for today. Don't waste it. Don't sit in negativity, and then at the end of the day, look back and say, I actually just did a pre-filmed video about this, and I really, truly do feel this way. Don't look back at the end of the day and say, like, today was a crappy day. I hope tomorrow's better. Start your day over. But today, we're only promised a few, you know? Make the most of it. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And also, like I always say, practice random acts of kindness. But also, like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. Just put some goodness out there in the world, and love and kindness. Always lead with love, like it says in the 4 agreements, and lead with love, compassion, kindness, and forgiveness. And I love you guys, and I will look at that, more cornfields. And I love you guys, and it's almost happy Halloweener, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.